Okay, hey YouTube. This is Matthew Morgan coming to make a video about two, maybe three, but mostly two different subjects. Number one has to do with Judgment Day. And just to go into the deepness of how serious it is, just want to say this right now. Just so y'all get it. Now, you know how the Bible tells you when you get judged, God's going to be the one judging you, and he's going to judge you harshly based off of if you believed in him or not, if you followed him or not, who you believed in, and what you followed while you were on this earth. And if you didn't accept Jesus, then you're going to hell if you're not a Christian. Again, I'm going to just say that's a bunch of bullshit because, like I said before, Christianity has nothing to do with Jesus. Baptism has nothing to do with Jesus. Church has nothing to do with Jesus. The Bible has nothing to do with Jesus. Tithing, and let me just say it again. Tithing does not mean money. Tithing is a Greek word which means taios, or time. So I'm going to say it again so these pastors that don't want to get it right. God does not want 10% of your money. Bible already tells you God ain't a fan of money. He never has been and he never will be. God wants 10% of your time, not money. Never wanted your money. Anyway, here is the severity of Judgment Day. Whether you're in the world or you're in the church, doesn't make a difference. Here's the thing. When you go and you leave your form and God calls you to get judged, God's not the one that's gonna judge you. Lucifer is gonna judge you. And he's gonna point out everything in life that you did wrong. Everything. So, just be advised that you do get tempted into doing wrong and doing evil. So that way when you pass, he can use that and hold it against you. But here's the thing. The Father ain't gonna hold it against you because he knows that humans don't act on things by their own willpower. It takes, how you say, an unseen force to tempt you to do wrong. Now, they set up the slaughter. It's just up to you and the timing to fall into it. Then once you pass, remember when he did this? Remember when they did that? Remember, and all that other stuff. Then the Father simply says that the person did not know better. for why they did what they did, they assumed it was just their self that did it. They don't know that it was a spiritual aspect to it as well. That's why you have to learn to forgive the stuff you do in life. Because it's not just you that's doing it. There's a spiritual influence that causes you to do it. And just want to say this again so it's understood. God is not punishing you if something bad happens to you. Lucifer is punishing you. God loves you too much to punish you because he knows why you mess up. So he would rather help you do better and try to bless you along the way and bring some type of positivity around you so that way you know he gives a damn. But Lucifer would like to punish you because he knows God won't do it. So, anytime something bad in your life happens, know that he did it. But then there's some times when you're like, oh, if God loved me so much, why does he let this happen? Why does he let that happen? I'm a good person. I try to do the right thing, but bad stuff still happens. Trust me, I know I'm one of them people. But in all reality, bad things happen to everybody. It's part of human nature. It's part of free will. It's just the design of humanity. Bad things happen to everybody, good or bad. It's just when it happens to the bad people, they actually deserve it. When it happens to the good people, it sucks because they don't deserve it. It's just something to knock you off what you were trying to do in life. But as I said again, everything you do in this life, you are going to get judged. But there's things that you get tempted into doing purposely so that you can get judged for them on purpose. But God ain't holding it against you because he already knows why you do it. Just throwing that out there. And just have to say this as well. Old school relationships are no better than the relationships now. Back in the day, old school relationships wasn't based off of love, they were based off of money. And people ask, why is it that old school relationships last longer than the ones now? Here's the big divider. It's a thing called feminism. There was a time when women could not work, women couldn't vote, women didn't have a voice, women didn't have a choice. Women were seen as the child bearers and the housemaidens and the cook and all that stuff. And since the dude was the only one that could bring in any money, and a lot of women were taught by their moms that they need to get with a guy who can provide for them, but they forgot to mention to him, make sure he actually cares about you. Make sure money's not the only reason you're staying with him. But since a lot of them forgot to mention it, but they had their purposes for saying it, because a lot of their moms came out of struggles and their parents came out of slavery, and they just didn't want to see their daughters suffering and struggling, so they told them that, but they forgot to mention, also make sure he loves you. Not just money, but he loves you. But anyway, and just to make it known, the reason why the woman took the man's last name way back in the day was because the woman couldn't work and the woman couldn't have money, and the man was the only one with a bank account. So in order for her to be able to buy anything, she had to have her husband's last name in order to get it. So that's why she had no choice but to take his last name. Because if she wanted anything out of life, she had to have his last name to get it. But back to the point. So, as far as old school marriages lasting, a lot of older women will tell you they only stayed with the man they were with, and trust me, they took a lot of abuse and name calling just to survive. And sad to say, they stuck by that guy because they knew if they left him, they'd be struggling and poor. They wouldn't have anything. So a lot of the time, women back in the day didn't have a choice but to stay with a guy that cheated on them, abused them, mistreated them, had babies outside of their marriage and stuff. And the women usually never said nothing because they knew had they left the guy they were with, it would shame their family. Because if the guy was doing well enough, the family wouldn't care what was going on outside of that house as long as you stayed with someone that could take care of you. That's all that mattered. And yeah, back in the day, they were having babies out of wedlock. Yeah, older men were cheaters. Pretty much all the stuff that's wrong with this generation came from the old school. They never fixed it. That's why we suffer from it now. That's why it pisses me off when old school try to say my generation ain't got no common sense. Well, if we ain't got common sense, I wonder who did we contract that from? Because all them R&B songs was making people have babies they did not intentionally want. So yeah. But anyway, that's what I had to say about that. So don't think, oh, all these old school marriages are lasting. Why ain't the ones nowadays lasting? Because nowadays women have the choice to work and make their own money, have their own name, have their own title, do things on their own. Back in the day, women didn't have that choice, so they had no choice but to stick to the man they were with because that dude was their only meal ticket through life. And once the feminist movement came, then women could separate from the dude they were with and make their own way in life. So I'm just letting that be known. And as far as the whole thing about niggas ain't shit, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man. Yeah, you do. Woman need man, man need woman. Yes, you do. Because y'all help balance each other out spiritually. Like, the woman needs the man for his masculinity. The man needs the woman for her femininity means woman teaches man how to not be such a brickhead. Man teaches woman how to be strong when she's weak. Just how the game goes. Then y'all both need to be around just in case y'all have any children because they have to learn how to balance their hormones. Like the dad is there to teach the son how to be a man and a gentleman the right way and how to grow up and stand tall on his two legs and fend for himself and work hard if it's needed, but treat people with dignity and respect. The mom is there to teach the daughter how to be a young lady and assert her womanhood and know how to have value in herself. But vice versa, the mom is supposed to teach the son how to treat the girl he finds with respect while also teaching the son how to have some, emotions and feelings and teaching the son that having a little bit of a heart and saying something's beautiful or cute or teaching him that crying doesn't make you weak or saying you have feelings and they're hurt doesn't make you weak. Just like the dad with the daughter. The dad is supposed to teach the daughter how to be strong, stand up for herself, and, teach her how to be, solid as a rock when it's necessary. Teach the daughter how to treat Man, wow. The daughter's learning that this is the way, like, my boyfriend's supposed to treat me, how my dad treats me. Hopefully, that's good. So, realistically, y'all say that y'all don't need a man. No. I mean, if you don't need one, you don't need one. But in all honesty, it's not that you don't need a man. It's just you don't need the wrong one that comes in your life, has no positive motives to help build you and that person up. No, you don't need, as you say, you don't need a man. No, you just don't need the wrong one. But anyway, yeah, I'm out. That's all I had to say about that one.